Hi, this is Rick Slinks, and I'm talking with Annie Duann from Coldwell Bankers Real Estate, correct?
Correct.
Did I say that right?
Coldwell Banker, Premier Realty.
Premier Realty.
Premier.
All right. To say that real estate is right now been at the forefront of just about everything that's going on. It's the forefront of the economy. It's the forefront of the discussions in Las Vegas. It's at the forefront of anything having to do with the economy or our life here in the community. There are so many questions. And Annie, what I want to do is get a chance to ask you about some of them.
Okay.
Okay. First things first, people have lost, at least on paper, have lost a lot of money. I mean, they really have.
Right.
Real estate forever was known as the premier investment that a family made. It wasn't just an investment of dollars and cents. It was an investment in a community. It's an investment in their neighborhood, the school system they would go to, where their kids would be raised, where they'll celebrate their holidays. I mean, there's so much emotion attached to that, to the decision in making in purchasing real estate. And yet, we've here in Las Vegas, it has become the icon for people getting up and walking away from their homes, their dreams. Why do you think Las Vegas more than any place else? Why here?
We had a very volatile market in 2004, leading up into 2007. So we're feeling the effects of that. The prices just skyrocketed just beyond belief, beyond the charts. And so that's the environment we're left with today.
Okay, so basically it was just supply and demand. Raised the cost of housing here in Las Vegas just because of the huge influx that took place?
New construction, the demand with the loans, just a confluence of variables that happened. So there was a big construction boom here. High demand for homes, driving up prices. Prices beyond what anything realistic should have been.
Okay.
And so now we are, suffering or have suffered the consequences of the market coming down.
Okay, and that brings back to I don't believe in the blame game, but a lot of people are like, okay, so is this where the concept of the premise is? Well, the banks caused it. The banks caused it because if they would have said, well, I'm sorry, we're not going to lend $1 million for that home, we're only going to lend $700,000 for that home, or Mr. and Mrs. Smith, really based upon your joint income, we can't really lend you $1 million because you really probably can't afford to pay $1 million over the next 30 years plus interest, which would be like $3.2 million. So is that why the banks have been slammed so hard on this? Is it somehow they were the facilitators of all this?
That's part of the equation. There's false demand set up, so they just kept building and people kept coming to buy. Prices just kept getting driven upward. And
the banks would continue to lend the money, even the inflated price.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we finally get to that point, that miserable moment. I don't think anybody, it's like everybody can remember where they were at during 9/11. Everybody can remember where that major events have taken place. Yeah. I don't think that anybody will forget where they were in the spring and early summer of 2008. When everything just started going down. The banks, New York, Wall Street. I mean, it was happening faster than the water was running out of my bathtub. I mean, it was just a downward sucking motion. What was the immediate response? I mean, was it panic, or did everybody just kind of figure that everything would work itself out all right?
I think that we found ourselves in a situation where the values just weren't holding up. It had skyrocketed too fast, too high. And what goes up must come down. It's a terrible cliche, but that's
basic
that's the
economics
reality.
101.
Exactly,
yeah.
Supply and demand and market correcting itself.
Okay,
and it's an ongoing correction and adjustment.
And that's really what I want to get to, is it's the ongoing correction. And everybody's asking the one question: is this the bottom now? Is the fact that real estate values here in the Clark County community have in fact dropped 60%? Is this now the bottom? Are we seeing the end of it finally?
We're getting close. We have a lot of good indicators that we're getting close. The prices and the activity has been pretty stable for the last 3 years. So when you look at a lot of the charts, you'll see a lot of flatlining, which is good. There aren't going to be any of these sharp drops. We had that in 2008.
Okay.
And we saw that, just go down. So right now we've been able to see some stability. Yes, there are fluctuations, there are ticks downward, but there has been stability. And when we can look back at a measurable period of time and see that continued steadied line, we can then begin to hope for the uptick to come around.
Okay, so let's say that I'm in a home now and I like my home. And so can I honestly at this point start to look at my wife and the other or husband or the other people that are important in my family and say, look, this is about as far as it's going to go down. We're pretty much hit it at this particular point.
We're getting close. We don't know.
You don't have a crystal ball.
No, I know.
Your crystal ball's a little foggy today.
Yeah,
okay.
It's in the shop.
Okay. There's a lot of people in the spring of 2008 would have loved to have had your crystal ball.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that's kind of, we're feeling better there. Housing sales are starting to come up again.
Yeah, they've been very robust, very active. There is national media now exposing our marketplace with the great deals. Pricing is down, but it's drawing a lot of international and even domestic buyers because it's a great time to buy. So again, it's another adjustment. The environment is great to get a good deal on a home.
Right.
So people realize that Las Vegas is a great market to be in. So
where else could you buy a home that was worth $1 million now for about $350,000-$400,000?
Not too many places.
Not too many places. Okay. So on that note alone, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what people have to do to make some of their own decisions about where they're at, if they're upside down in their house, what the president's new program is going to be, and several other things. So we'll be right back right after this.